What's up, everybody? We're in day 39, countdown to in-game 2020. And yeah, I know it's going to be noisy. It's a bumpy, rough ride, right? Just like this simulation has been for a lot of people. I just do not have time tonight to do a video, to edit out a really clean video for you guys, because I just got done doing a live feed with Susos, and I will be posting a link later on to his page so everybody can get on there and listen to him. And here's the thing, when I think he left a comment on one of my videos, and I went and checked out his stuff, and he asked me if I would do a live feed with him a couple months ago, I think it was. And I went and checked out his videos, and I actually watched quite a few of his videos because they were really interesting. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I could identify with, a lot of things that he was going through. And he was just like, man, you know, the stuff he was talking about, it's like, he felt like he was alone. And it's funny because I felt the same way. And I'm not just talking about the Mandela effect. There were other things that he was seeing, that he was noticing about the reality around him that I also was seeing and noticing too. So I gravitated to listening to some of the stuff that he talks about. He's a wild dude, man. But anyhow, so I went on his video earlier, and I think I was on there for, I don't know, about 40 minutes or something. So I'm going to try to get that video link, and I'm going to try to get that part of the video that I was on talking to him, and I'm going to post it tomorrow on my channel so you guys can watch it. And, you know, you can go over and check out Suso's channel and listen to him. He does more live feeds than I do. I don't really do that stuff, but I don't mind going on other people's live feeds. So that way, if there's questions that people have, I have no problem with going on there and answering your questions live. So that way, it makes it easier. Like he said, that he could understand a little bit better when he actually got to talk to me, you know, live. Yeah, look, see, I got new headlights. I don't know if you guys noticed before how my headlights. Hey, well, I want to bring this up too. And speaking of headlights, and speaking of the blue light, do you remember the picture that I had of my two groups on my last video? And when I brought the light over to the groups, they didn't look the same as they did when I had the three groups on the other video. Well, the reason why the three groups on the other video looked better was because they were getting natural light, right? Like they were in the natural light. I didn't have the blue light shining on them. If you look at the picture of the two groups, I had one of my LED lights, my light bars, and I put it on them so that you could actually see what they look like, you know, on the dash, so you know. Oh, jeez. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm going towards Cleveland again. So anyhow, and that thing's probably going to keep talking over me. But so here's what you see when you look at the two pictures side by side. You see one with a lot of color, a lot of life, right? Like when we see vibrant colors, okay, yes, I'm going. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, see the AI female is telling me where to go, right? Because I talked about that before in one video. But anyhow, when we see vibrant colors, we recognize that as life. Like we recognize vibrant colors as life. But when you see something without vibrant colors, it's almost like a lack of life, right? Like it's something is missing there. Like the color has died in his eyes, right? You say the color is gone in his eyes. You know, that person has dead eyes or whatever. You know, they're black. There's no color to them. But so the blue light actually robbed, and the blue light actually stole the color away from and washed it out, away from the groups, away from it. So yes, when you see blue light and what it's doing, and when I was talking about how it's unnatural, it takes life. It robs the color and it steals the life away from something. So that's another indicator that the blue light is just not natural for us. You know, it takes, and I noticed that too when I'm driving at night, and I noticed that last night, and I was driving through a wooded area, that the trees, because of the blue light, it washed out a lot of the color, and it looks kind of like this pale blue light, and you don't have the vibrant greens from the trees or whatever, you know. So anyhow, that also brings up the topic of when someone dies, right? When you die, you hear that people's lips go blue, they get cold, they go blue, you know, their eyes get this film, right? Like the life leaves the eyes, and it gets this kind of this bluish film over top of it, just like the blue light. And although this channel is not about blue lights and all that stuff, but it is about reality and false reality. And the blue light is natural inside of a simulation because of electricity runs a simulation, you know, so it makes it, you know, inside of the circuitry, right? So it makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much when I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, wow, you know, look how terrible those Groots look in that picture. You can't see any color, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's because I was holding a blue LED light on them, and it stole the life away from them. And also, if you're in a cryogenics chamber and you've been frozen, what are you going to, what is it going, what color are you thinking when you freeze? Blue, right? So, I mean, it just, all this stuff kind of, let me turn on mine. There we go. All this stuff kind of just all goes right back to the same thing about being in a simulation, about being in a cryogenic chamber. Also, Suzos was,
right to stay on I-271
there we go, yeah.
south.
Okay, by the way, GPS was created by DARPA. Right, so DARPA created the GPS system. Well, the Agency Protection, the ARPA, Agency Protection something whatever. I can't remember the full acronym. But it actually was became DARPA in the year 1972. And I heard Susos, he was talking to Siri, and I just wanted to yell through the screen, dude, Siri was created by DARPA. And DARPA is 1972. Look it up, you know, like everything. Like he brought up something else too. It was after I got off of the live feed with him because I was trying to get some stuff done at work, and I was just listening in. I didn't turn his channel off. I was listening to him. But he brought up something else, and once again, it was right back to 1972. And then he brought up about that song, "Stuck in the Middle with You," and he was just like, and he's like, man, this song better not be 1972. And then he put it on. And he looked it up, and it said it was 1972, and he just, and I laughed so hard because it's like so funny because, you know what, Susos, if you're listening to this video, when it was one of my viewers who actually told me that song came out in 1972, and I didn't even know that, and when he told me that, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, that's so funny, that song did come out in 1972, so a lot of this stuff, you know, people will come to me, like something else I found out today too. Somebody sent me a message today and said, hey, and you guys, this is going to knock your socks off, because this really was like a punch in the mouth for me, because I was like, holy smokes, I cannot believe it. Of course, the CIA would have to be connected to 1972, right? Like, there's nothing else I've said yet about the CIA connected to 1972. How are they connected to 1972? What do you think the CIA and Corona have connected to the 1972? They had a spy satellite that they were using, a program that they ended in the middle of the year 1972, and it was called the Corona Spy Satellite something or another. I have to do more research into it, but I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Are you kidding me? Like the word, the same thing for that we're going through for the computer virus that I keep telling people it's a computer virus is connected to 1972 and the CIA, which we know is the mis and disinformation agency. That is one of the things in the information agency. That's what the Central Intelligence Agency, that's what they do. That agency is there to gather as much intelligence as they can about its enemy and to give its enemy disinformation. And I'm not saying that they're doing anything to us inside the simulation to sabotage us or any crap like that. I'm just saying that, yes, there has to be a connection, right? And it would have to be the computer virus that we know of, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just like, come on, man. How do you not see the connections? How do you not see the connections? Every time I turn around, there's more and more and more stuff that just keeps popping up that is connected from the year 1972 to 2020. And speaking with Souzos, I think it's Souzos or Souzos. It's Sussos or something like that. I think it's how you write it. I can't look it up right now because I'm driving. But speaking with him and him understanding and getting a grasp a little bit more about the facts that I've been talking about, you know, and one of his biggest concerns, which I can tell, is about, you know, religion. Well, I talk about that, and the other one was about the number 172. And I've heard that a few times. People get, because it makes them angry, you know, oh, why only 172 people? Where did you get that number? My suggestion to everybody is to go to my video where on that video, look up the video where I say I call Alcor to confirm 172. I'm going to tell you briefly before I get off here because my 12 minutes is almost up. In the year 1972, there were people are just like flying around all over the place. NPCs, they don't even care because it's like they don't care. But in 1972, there were 172 spontaneous abortions. That means there were souls that were lost that weren't just aborted but actually lost, right? Okay, so 172. And the year in 2019, last year, there was 172 people. There was the last people that went into the Alcor pods. And bada bing, you have your connection from 1972 to 2020. There's only 172 people in there.